Is it all right?
Yes, I think it is.
Thank you. I bow to all the seekers of truth. We are seeking truth, reality, not hallucinations, not imagination, not our own mental projections. We have not been yet able, many of us who are seeking, understand that reality is what it is. It will be the same, it has been the same. We cannot coin it for ourselves. We cannot organize it. And we cannot think about it. We cannot put a mental projection of our own as to this is the reality, this is not the reality. Today only I was reading with great surprise an article about sniffing the glue that people are doing. I mean, now this is the last they are sniffing now, then petrol, all sorts of things. Well, why? Why are they doing it? Because for some sensation. But they said that when you do that, what happens? That you start believing that whatever you are doing is right. That's exactly is the point today. Without sniffing also there are many who believe like that. That whatever their ideas are about God or about spirit, about seeking, is the right thing. And they don't want to see what reality is. They just want to project their ego, their imagination, to believe that this is the reality. And then they just are convinced that they know everything. With such people, what to do? How to tell them that reality is something very different. Now what happens when we put our mental projections like this? We conceive things, we read books, we form our own ideas. It's a very dangerous thing that can happen to human beings. And that is, your ego starts bloating, becoming big and big and big without your knowledge. A person who has an ego does not harm himself at all, he harms others. He doesn't harm anyone as such, but he harms in a way which can be very deep, hurting. He'll say things which will hurt a person. He'll do things that will hurt. Nations after nations can be destroyed with this ego, like Hitler did. So when you put your mental projections like this, I can do it, I can find it, I know, I believe, then this ego, you see, grows in your head. If it was only your head, nothing to bother. But it grows round your heart. It grows round your heart. And your heart becomes like a stone. You cannot feel anything that is real. You cannot understand what is real and what is unreal. All your discrimination is lost completely. I went to Bangalore and there were some very ordinary people working in gardens and things like that. They saw me and they recognized. Not difficult. One lady came and told me, my son has gone away for 2 years. He was only 14, now he must be 16. And I know you can call him back. I said, how do you know? He said, we know who you are. Just seeing my face. Can you imagine? Such sensitivity they had. I said, all right. And the boy came back after 2 days. But look at their quality. The whole level of sensitivity is lost with this ego. When Rama went to jungle, as you know, he was sent away, everyone recognized them who were in the jungle leading a very normal life. But today it's getting worse and worse and worse. We have no eyes to see. We have no sensitivity to understand. We have our own images built around us, such barriers. We have lost all sensitivity to reality, to goodness, to divinity, to love, to affection, to compassion. And that's why it is so difficult. It's very difficult. Even when we say we are seeking reality, it's kind of a big announcement of the ego. But there are many who do believe we have found the reality, we know reality, we have full conception of reality, and this is what it is. If suppose tomorrow Christ comes, who is going to recognize him? Not you. Not the people who are living in the cities, not them. But when he goes in the forest, two simple village people, they will. Because they haven't lost that. They are still there in the center. This ego develops with so many things. Money, one thing. Sometimes the belief that we are moneyed people also can. Power. I mean, as soon as somebody becomes a minister, you should say it's completely changed. His face is changed, his style is changed, his talking is changed. They've forgotten what life is like. There's no fun in their life, no fun at all. Just like dried fishes. Better not go near them, otherwise you will get the stink of their ego. This is what is the problem today, present day. Sahajogis get upset about it. Why, mother, people don't progress in Sahajoga? First, they have their own conception. You tell them this is Sahajoga. And as you have to tell somebody this is reality, say you say this is diamond, then you have to also remove all the obstructions which are on top of that to show you that this is reality. The wisdom lies in understanding what it is. Let's see for ourselves. That's the soundness of a character if you have. At least you will settle down and try to see what it is. Instead of that, people just get angry. Oh, we don't believe it. But you don't believe with what? You haven't got the sensitivity to know what to believe, what not to believe. But it is even much more dangerous than that. Because when you have to seek, because that's your nature, you have been seeking all your lives, not this life. And when you come again to seek in this life, which is a special time, you are always enamored by something that is unreal, that appeals to your ego or to your superego. Means a person, if he can somehow or other give you some sort of a sensation or some sort of a mesmerism, you think, oh, this is wonderful, I felt so happy, I was very high. Just like getting intoxicated. But what have you achieved is the point by that. Like if you take some sort of this glue business, I don't know what happens. Today, somehow I have been reading 3 articles on such things. Something like cocaine, they said, is the modern trouble now. The drugs are out now, the cocaine. With all this intelligence, with all this knowledge that you have gathered, if you have to end up your life with cocaine and glue, where is the wisdom? When you have to select something for your life, for the fun of your life, for the beauty of your life, what do you select? Something that is going to destroy you? You see others are destroyed. Still you go to it. This is the danger of this horrible ego which we have created of our own. But it may also take you to people who will pamper your ego. For example, somebody says, all right, in this hall if you have to come, pay £100, otherwise you cannot enter. You'll be surprised this hall will be filled completely by all the big cars will be standing here and people will be just sitting here. It's a sort of as if they are going to races. Who pays more? It's a competition. In the elite society, you will be surprised. The talk is like this. Who is your guru? What are you going to do this time? They said, I have tried this, I have paid about £5,000. Now I think I'll have to go somewhere with £10,000. It's really, that's the talk they have. They talk like that. If it was only stupidity that you achieve through your ego, it's not so dangerous. But discrimination is completely lost, and you are enamored more by unreal things. And with little understanding, with little intelligence, you can understand. Very little is needed. You don't have to read books to understand that. But that simple common sense of a village folk, you don't have. Like, I remember my granddaughter once went with her father and mother to a lama. She's a realized soul. The parents are not. And this lama had shaved his head completely and was sitting with a big robe. So first, everybody was going, she was looking at him. She couldn't understand what this fellow is up to because everybody was touching his feet. And then the father went and touched her feet. And when the mother went and touched her feet, she couldn't bear it. She was only 5 years of age. She just put back her hands like this and stood before him. He said, why are you such a hypocrite? You are not a realized soul. Just by shaving your head and by wearing this dress, do you become a realized soul? She just stood before him, 5-year-old child. And the parents were rather embarrassed. And the fellow didn't know where to look when she said, in Hindi they say par. You are not even par. How are you sitting there and asking everybody to touch your feet? What right have you got? And then the parents got embarrassed and they said, you shouldn't say like that. She said, I would not have said if you had not touched his feet. See the 5-year-old child. And otherwise she's a very mild, sweet person. She stood up. But somebody comes as Lama, finished. If somebody is coming here Lama, for us, he is the greatest. Then he tells us that you have to go to Shambhala in the Gobi desert. We are all packing our things, going to Gobi desert to die there. What else? Is there any nirvana written in that Gobi desert? This is what it is happening to the seekers who have been seeking for ages and ages, and they have come on this earth deliberately to get their realization. And there they are, ending up their lives in Gobi desert. But if anybody tells them that's not the thing, that's not the reality, then they get very angry. Why should you criticize? But main thing is, you have to find it for yourself. You have to understand that the power has to work through you. Just like blind, you see, going under a cover. If somebody says go 3,000 pounds, all right, then 6,000 pounds, all right, then 10,000 pounds, all right. Just walking towards the hell, that's all it is. You can't pay for God. You can't pay. You can't read about it. You have to experience. And the experience, when it is yours, you become part and parcel of God Almighty. You become the power. Perhaps very few human beings realize how delicately, beautifully, for so many ages, God has worked on human beings to create you today. And the seekers are a special category of people. But modern times are the worst times and the best times. Because all kinds of negative forces are working now. First they have built up your ego, and now this ego is fed by people who are utilizing it. And after that, you have lost even the concept, the idea as to what to find. This is the situation of today's seekers. England is doing well now. I'm very happy about it. I had to work hard, but English are still sound people. They have been able to see through the truth of Sahaja. They have been able to absorb. But when you say I have to go to America, I shudder. I really tell you I shudder. Because they have become so shallow now with all these gurus going there and all kinds of ideas that they have even witchcraft, they have accepted all that is wrong. One can understand indiscretion, but discretion only going towards all that is wrong, all that is anti-God, all that is anti-life, is some sort of a negative attraction or fraternity, I don't know what to call it. While the mental projections are so built up, that it's a very big barrier. Now how do we break that in Sahaja? We should try to understand how we break this ego and superego barriers within human beings. Not by lecturing you. It cannot work out through lectures. Not by any kind of brainwashing or anything. We can at the most prepare you to open your mind, that's all. But one has to understand that human awareness is not yet complete. Through our human awareness, we cannot understand God. Only through our spirit. We have to become the spirit. Every gospel, every scripture, every religion has said, you have to be the spirit. That means anybody can say, now we have become spiritualists or we have become spirits. This is another identification one can have. You have to become spirit means the quality of spirit must manifest through you. Through your attention, through your awareness, and through your personality. If it is not happening, you cannot just brand yourself like, I can say I'm a Catholic or I'm a Hindu or a Muslim. It's not like that. You cannot just put a label to a person saying that now I am a person who is a self-realized person. It is your being which has to express that. You have to become. Just by accepting mentally that I am such and such. They play all kinds of tricks. They'll give you a name. You see, Shivanand, Dayanand, all sorts of Dhonganand as we call them. And they go in on the streets and say, oh, I'm such and such, my name is such and such. Even if you call yourself donkey, you don't become donkey. Then how can you become a realized soul if you call yourself a realized soul? You are what you are. But you have to become, and that becoming is a living process of a living God. It's not a process where you start jumping, dancing. No, it is not. It's a living process. And we cannot do living process. It's done by nature, spontaneously, sahaja, by God. So the process of realization is the awakening of the Kundalini, which lies in the triangular bone. Here. Can you come and show someone? In the triangular bone, you see this lying in 3.5 coils. This is the energy that is resting in the triangular bone, called as sacrum. Greeks knew it was a sacred bone, so they called it sacrum. When I asked them, they said they had a rapport with Indians long time back, and they discovered that this is a sacred bone. This sacred bone lies within you, and the sacred energy also lies unharmed, absolutely waiting there. Now this is the energy of your pure desire. I don't know if you have any idea of purity left in the modern times. You eat anything, it is contaminated. You smoke something in the air, so you contaminate everything. You hear music which is contaminated. Everything is contaminated. So the sense of purity is only existing in that power of ours, which is a pure desire, not a perverted desire, or not a spoiled desire, or mixed up desire, but a pure desire to be one with the divine. To be in the yoga, to be united with the divine power that is all pervading, the power of love of God. That's the purest desire we have, because all other desires have no meaning. Whatever desires we have otherwise, never give us satisfaction. We jump from one to another. But once this pure absolute desire rises within us, it should rise as an energy, then we have no other desire. Then the whole situation changes. When you are facing me, you are desirous. But then you come and sit with me and watch others. Whole situation changes. You become self-realized. When this desire awakens within you, passes through 6 centers, crosses through this center, then you start feeling the cool breeze coming out of your head. Now this nobody can do. Can anybody do like that? All these gurus make you jump, pay them money, tell them we will give you 1,000 pounds if you can really put the cool breeze out of our heads. Or even 10,000 pounds if they want. Even millions and billions of pounds, they cannot do it. Because they are not authorized. So this is what it is, that we have to ask for reality. The cool breeze of the Holy Ghost. This is the reflection of the Holy Ghost within us. And that we have to feel on top of our head. And then in our fingers it should flow. Then we should say that the Spirit has come into our attention, into our central nervous system, because we are feeling it now. That's how we have to believe. But that's not sufficient. That's not the end of it, as you know, so many of you. You have to work it out. Now why this working is needed? Because there are lots of impurities. Not to feel guilty about it. Whatever has happened, but there are impurities. This is your rebirth. When the bird comes out of the egg, the little bit of egg is still sticking on to him, so he has to clean it. And then you become a different personality altogether. Then the reality can be understood, because you are that which can see the reality. You have become the Spirit. Without becoming the Spirit, you cannot see the reality. You cannot understand the reality. Before that, as I said, it is your own mental projection. It's your own hallucination, imagination. The entire concept is a myth. You will discover that very soon when you become that. But what's the harm in becoming that? Because for that you have been seeking. And that is what one should understand, that I have to become. I have to become that special being. I have to be the spirit. I have to be the instrument of that divine power. I have to understand all the working of that divine power. I have to purify myself. I have to cleanse myself through that divine power. Some people ask me, Mother, it's very difficult to awaken the Kundalini. I said, maybe for some, not for me. It's true, it's not for me. But why not for me? That I don't want to tell you. That you have to find out yourself. It's true. It is easy for me, no doubt. And it will be easy for you also. You'll be surprised. Actually, Sahaj Yogis are very humble people. You have no idea how humble they are. The other day, we had somebody in Bombay who came to see me. And he told me, Mother, there's one guru, who is a real guru, I should say. I've been with him for 14 years. And he's been making me do this and do that, 14 years. And one day I came to a program, I got my realization. And now I can give realization to others. So I went and saw my guru and I told him, that how is it that you recognize Mother, you know about her, you talk about her, and you took 14 years just to cleanse me and I haven't got my realization. Now here I can give realization. So he said, better not talk about it. Now you better give realizations, brother, I can't. You are specially blessed. It's a fact. But Sahaj Yogis are so simple, so humble. They are better than all these gurus put together. But they won't say that. They have become. And all of you who are here for the first time or second time, all of you have to become. But you have to have patience with yourself. We have patience, we have love, compassion, everything. But you must have love for yourself and awareness that you are not an ordinary person. You are a seeker, a special category of a person. We can't work on mediocres. You are the men of God as described by William Blake. You are that. Now if you want to waste your life with sniffing that glue, what are we to do? Or you want to pay some sort of a fraud personality, what are we to do? Except that we can only pray for you that you should come back to right path and get your wisdom back so that you get your realization. That's the only thing we have to do, is to give you realization, so that you also know how to give realizations to others. There are so many myths working. Like one lady told me, nobody can do anything for anyone. But why not? If by getting realization you become what you have to become, why not? Why have these barriers before you give these explanations beforehand? Like you tell somebody, all right, now tomorrow we would like to buy, say, a particular type of a thing. So the person should say, all right, let's go and find out. Normally, let's go and find out, to be open. But ego is there. So the ego says, but may not be there. I mean, if it is not there, we'll not buy. Simple as that. But why, before buying that or going there, why give such an explanation as that it may not be there? That is what it is. That you have to get your realization. You have to become what you are. You have to understand how it works. It's all your own. Supposing all your treasure is locked up in a bank, and I am a banker, and you come to me. Then I have to give you your keys, and I have to tell you how to open your treasures and what do they mean, isn't it? That's my duty. But if I am doing that duty, people ask me, why should you do it? Because I am the banker. So why are you the banker? Better go and ask God, why am I the banker? But can you become the banker? You cannot. But when you become, you will become. When you are not, you are not. When you will be appointed as a banker, you will be acting as a banker too. It's as simple as that. So you get to your realization and you understand those who have got it, have got it. Even you'll be surprised, once I gave realization to one gentleman. He never came to Surge Yoga as such, and he didn't become much. So one day he went to see a judge, a justice in the High Court in Bombay, who was a realized soul too, Mr. Vaidya. So Mr. Vaidya asked him, do you know Mataji Nirmala Devi? He said, yes. Did she give you realization? Yes. Yes, I know. He said, how do you know, sir? He said, well, I can feel it. Of course, it's very mild, but it's flowing. Still, the divine is working. But why not cooperate? And why not help the divine? Why not make the best out of it? A little bit cooperation and understanding and willpower can give you everything that you have. It's all your own, you have to have it. I'm very happy to come back to London now to talk to you. I think London and England as a whole has very sound surgeries, very sound, sensible, wise, hard-working surgeries. And the youth of England are really the best today in the West. They are not shallow and they are not such wobbly things like Americans. And they are not bound by the idea of death like the Switzerland people are. Swiss people are on one side doing Surge Yoga, another side planning how to commit suicide. And they are not miserable like French are. They are so miserable that they want to drink away their life and indulge in prostitution because they are extremely miserable. They don't want to laugh, you see. They think to laugh is a sinful thing. But all other sins you can commit. As long as you don't laugh, it's all right. You should never have any fun in life. If you have fun, you should do all the sins with great seriousness, then it's all right. It's no sin. It's a funny idea of detachment they have developed. So we have Italians who are good for emotional, who are very good at recognizing me. But to understand Surge Yoga, little more soundness is needed. They'll settle down very soon, I think. But basically, they are very sensitive people, very sensitive. But sensitivity is not sufficient. You must have soundness behind it. Even if you are sensitive and you recognize me, you must have that soundness to understand the immense advantages of Surge Yoga, the greatest dynamics of Surge Yoga. This is the solution of all the problems of the world. Believe me. Today I had to attend a dinner on a ship and I was the chief hostess, I should say. No, guest, chief guest. But I just told my husband that today, please excuse me. This is God's work. And nobody can do that but me. I have to do it. So please excuse me. He said, it's all right. It's all right. Normally he would not, because I was he was the chief guest, I was his wife, I was supposed to be there, and on the ship you see everything. But when I said, this is God's work, that's important. He also feels the importance of this work. So if you have that intelligence Basic intelligence also you can see how important it is today. I'm happy today those who are new will get their realization. But not only getting the realization, you have to keep in a way that you proceed further with it, grow further with it. You have to have patience. You have to understand it in a very sound and wise manner. You have to have your wisdom completely intact and give a chance to yourself. Just don't discard it. Oh, I haven't felt it. As if some people are proud of it. If they haven't felt it, there's something wrong. They have to feel it. I'm sure this will work out today and add to our Sahaja Yoga people, which is the solution of all the problems, of all the problems. In India there was a speaker called Mr. Bharde who invited me to his speech in a village he had gone, in a district place. There was a big crowd and he was addressing, and of course he is a Sahaja Yogi. But still not such a great Sahaja Yogi, I should say, because he started saying that we have certain problems in our country. We have caste system and we have all these things. It's a big problem. Like in other countries they have race problems and this, that, and we have also these problems within us, that we talk of different castes. So I said there is a solution for it. If you are reborn, your complete birth is changed. You are no more English, no more American. You are no more an Indian to have a caste system. You are a yogi. You are a realized soul. You have no caste. You have no religion. You have no race. You are beyond it. That's what. And he was surprised. I said, that's how you solve the problem. This human life is like that. It gives you identification. You are English, you are rich, you are poor, you are this, you are that. You are Indian. All sorts of identifications. You are a king, you are a minister, minister's son and governor's son and all those things. But once you become a yogi, you are a yogi. Because there is no unreal thing existing anymore within us. These are all unreal identifications which just drop out. So many people in this country have taken to lives which are alternate lives, as they call it. And also their dresses changed, everything changed. But it's all outside. And by that they felt that they have achieved a kind of a change within themselves. But it's not true. It's not true. The unreal must drop out. The whole unreal must drop out. Once it drops out, then only you become the real personality. By changing outside, nothing changes. And that has to happen to all of you, to all the seekers of the world. Sahaja Yoga is only meant for seekers and for nobody else. I am only interested among the true seekers and not among other people who are seeking power, seeking this, seeking that. It's all also artificial, absolutely artificial. About that I'll tell you later on, how these things are absolutely artificial. May God bless you all. If you have any questions, you may ask, just for, yeah. Can I ask? Good. Any questions? Are you all Sahaja Yogis? How many of you have come for the first time? Raise your hands. Can you come forward? All those who have come for the first time, like 2 lines you should have occupied. You all should get up. Douglas, I think you all should get up. Please be seated there. You let them be seated. So now you can see how many are realized souls sitting here. And you have to just join their group, isn't it? Please make yourself comfortable there. Now, what about here? Those who are Sahajogis should go behind. Please come and join me. Beg pardon? Really? Is that so bad? Oh God. What's the problem? Douglas? They couldn't hear me. I'm sorry for that. Huh? Is this, you heard? All right, let's see what's the reason, all right? Please make yourself comfortable. Ray, get them there on the second seat would be better, all of them, so we can look after them. You were feeling only the echo, or what? All right, that could be one of the tricks of Sahaja. All right, let's see what happens. I also don't hear many people clearly, unless and until you are a realized soul. I find it very difficult to hear. You see, so I have to ask somebody to tell me in my ears. The frequency doesn't go into my ears too. So let's see what the problem is. Now, close your eyes. Put your hands just like this, that's all. And take out your shoes if possible. Now, the whole process takes hardly any time. It's just a very short time. A split of a second. But if there are any barriers in between, then there could be a problem. So it takes little more time. Doesn't matter. To err is human, isn't it? So it doesn't matter. Whatever is the problem, it has to be worked out. When it doesn't work out in you, some Sahajogis will come round to help you. Now I must explain to you beforehand what happens. They have got this power flowing through their hands. And their fingers, as you see there, are decoding, giving messages, the fingers, about the centers where you have a problem. So they exactly know where the problem is. Also they know how to cure that problem. So they use their fingers, their hands. They won't touch you. But they will know and they'll try to correct you. So not to get frightened if they just come and raise your kundalini or do something like that. There's nothing to be frightened about. Nothing is going to happen to you. You are going to feel absolutely blissful and happy. You just don't worry. All right. So put both the hands straight, just like this, and close your eye. Now, you need not stretch your body too much, nor you should slump it down, but sit comfortably with both the hands on your lap or on your legs like this. This is on the thighs like this. And keep your eyes shut, please. Please keep them shut. Whatever has to happen will happen inside, nothing outside. There is no need to jump or to say something or to make a face or anything. Let it happen. Now, there's one more thing. One has to remember that it happens spontaneously and your attention should not be fixed on any point. Just leave your attention free. Even if you are thinking, for example, doesn't matter. There's nothing to worry about it because this happens spontaneously. Your Kundalini rises and you get your realization spontaneously. So don't fix your attention anywhere. Just leave it loose, absolutely loose. Slowly you will find, first of all, that you are not thinking. One thing that you please don't open your eyes till I tell you. Because the Kundalini doesn't rise above the Agya chakra or the chakra which is in the brain. If you open your eyes, please keep your eyes shut. Now the left hand of yours represents your desire and the right hand is your action. Now I'll tell you how to use your right hand while keeping your left hand towards me on your lap. All the time you have to keep your left hand with stretched fingers on your lap while the right hand is to be used on different centers. First of all, put the right hand on your heart, on the left hand side. And in your heart, not loudly, you have to ask a question to me saying, Mother, am I the spirit? Ask this question thrice. Ask in any language. Makes no difference. Am I the spirit? Now the quality of spirit is that once the spirit manifests in you, you become your own master. You become your own guru. So please put the right hand down on the stomach on the left hand side and just press it with your fingers on the left hand side. Put your hand on the left hand side and press it with your finger. Little bit lower. Yes. Now, here 10 times you have to say, Mother, am I my own master? Now raise this right hand to your heart again and say now assertively with full confidence, Mother, I am the spirit. Please say it 12 times. It is according to the number of petals you have for your different centers. With full confidence, please say, Mother, I am the Spirit. I am the Atma. 12 times. Now put the right hand again on the left side of your neck. There's a center there, left side of your neck. Now we have to know that the Spirit is without any blemish, without any guilt, nirdosh. So we have to say at this point, Mother, I am not guilty. I am not at all guilty. Forget about the past. Forget it completely. We have to become a new life. So what do we say? Mother, I am not guilty. You have to say that 16 times, please. They have this problem. That's why they couldn't hear me. All right? That's the problem you had. Feeling guilty for nothing at all. Now say it with confidence. Mother, I am not guilty. Say that. Sixteen times. It's a very strong one there. Now raise this hand, if you have said it, to your forehead across. At this point, you have to forgive everyone. You may say that it's difficult, but when you do not forgive others, you are playing into their hands and torturing yourself. Just say, Mother, I forgive everyone. From your full heart, sincerely. Please say, Mother, I forgive everyone. Say it thrice. Put it across. Now, put this hand on top of your head, resting on the head in the center. The palm of the head should be in the center where it was a soft bone in your childhood. Little further. It's not at the back side, but further. Here it is going to break. Just put it little further. Still some people are having, Just try to feel it. And just rub it a little bit with your hand. In a clockwise manner you can move it also. Just push the hand up on your head. Put the palm, don't open it. Push it hard, little bit. Now, at this point, I can't force you to become realized. It's your freedom. So I respect it. You have to ask, or you have to say, Mother, I want my realization. Please give me realization. 7 times, please. Now raise your hand and see if there's a cool breeze coming in. You can change your hand also and see with the other hand. Put the right hand down and with the left hand you can see if there's a cool breeze coming out. You have to certify yourself first of all. On top of your head, about 4 inches on top of your head, above. Just try to see if you are feeling any cool breeze coming out. It's very subtle. You can change your hands and see. It's very, very subtle. And as we are going from gross level to subtle level, our sensitivity is not so great. If you are feeling it, then you can put down your hands, both the hands. First you must feel it on top of your head. And if you don't feel it, then later on we'll see how it works out. But those who are feeling it will start feeling it later on their hands. You can change over. Can some of the Sahajogis see the people who have come for the first time? You can put down your hands on the thing, but don't open your eyes straight. Keep your both the hands straight. It has to work out. It will work out. Don't you worry. Can some of you come in for the front line, please? Bala, just see your neighbor. Has she felt it? Can you come in front? Facing them you can. Alan, you can come facing them and some people can go behind. You can come this way, in front, from the front. No, you can come this side and see for yourself, from the front. You can do it from the front also. Come along. Why not come from the front, some of you, and some from the back? Come from the front. For the first line, you come from the front. And come from the front. It will be better for them. You can raise it from the front also. Now. Better. Little agya. This lady has felt it, I think. This lady has felt it. Yes, she's got it. You felt the cool breeze. I could see that. All right? On top of the head. It's gone there. I can see it from here, jetting out. Now, alright? Good. Just raise it and tie it up because it may fall down. What about this gentleman here who is there? You just see him. Chris, you see the gentleman there? No, he's alright. He's got it. No, he's alright. He's Alberto. Now are you feeling the cool breeze? You have forgotten the mantra I gave you. Come here. You have much more Sahaj Yogis now than the newcomers. So now better build it up. So many of you are here. One can work from the back, one can work from the front. Much faster it will work out. Come. You put your left hand towards me and you have to say, Mother, you are the Holy Ghost. That's all. Forgotten? Again.
Mother, you are the Holy Ghost. Mother, you are the Holy Ghost.
Again, put your hand straight. Again.
Mother, you are the Holy Ghost. Mother, you are the Holy Ghost.
Better. Working. Still.
Mother, you are the Holy Ghost.
Little bit. Feeling it now?
Mother, you are the Holy Ghost.
Still on the heart, because the heart is catching. Let's put it on the heart. Center, here, nicely. Just see how you are perspiring. Just to stick it out. But also heart is catching. Now, how are they? Alright. Ask them if they are feeling it. On the head. Let them feel on the head first. Then on the hands it will appear. Now?
Feels cool.
Alright?
Mother, you are the Holy Ghost.
Not feeling the full breeze?
Not a breeze, Mother. Not a breeze, Mother.
Cool. Let's sit for a while, it will work. Put him left to the right. Is he feeling? He's not feeling? Put your hand on his Vishuddhi.
He's feeling in his hands, not on top of his head.
He
Feels in his hands.
hands also. It's all right. It's good. What about this gentleman?
Very slightly, very subtly.
All right. Now you take down his sympathetic, both of them, nicely. And then raise it. Some of the people, if you take down, how better?
I feel the vibration.
Vibration.